I did not get the role. And why am I telling this story again? Hey guys, bonjour. As you know by now, I am an actor here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I've been pursuing this for a few years now. I've learned a few things when it comes to my sanity as a human pursuing this career. In a lot of ways, I think that the mental health aspect of being an actor can be just as hard as the craft. This is why there are so many actor workshops about the mindset. It's not just about being talented, it's so much more. So many actors give up too early because of the mental toll that it takes to be in this career, in this industry, and I'd like to share what I've learned throughout the years. Let's go. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, is rejection. I know, such a shocker, I know. Rejection is a normal part of life, whether you're talking about a job, a career, or relationships in a romantic sense. You get rejected left and right in a human life. That is a part of the deal. The thing about actors is that we get rejected constantly. That is our job. Most of the time you will hear a no. And that's nothing new, but it takes a toll on you emotionally, spiritually, in every sense, because you get so excited about the next big opportunity and then you hear nothing. You really have to think of it as a business decision. Casting directors don't hate you, they just don't think you're right for this role. But if you keep getting auditions, it means that they like your work and they want to place you somewhere. People are always so shocked to hear that in my industry I audition for things and I will hear nothing. Not a single word from the ether, no feedback, anything to make my auditions better. Casting directors don't have the time to go to each actor and say, hey, you should work on this, or you weren't right for this. And guess what? A lot of the times you're a great actor, but you just don't fit the character that they're looking for. There are certain actor YouTubers out there who show you their numbers about auditions and how many they book, trying to find statistical evidence to kind of explain everything. But the truth is, a lot of the booking process is out of your control. It really is. I was in acting class last week and we started the year with my instructor asking us, what are your goals for this year? When it was my turn, I said, I want to book this show and this show because I think I can absolutely be in that world, and I've auditioned for the casting directors before. I know I'm gonna get it. That's my goal. And my instructor looked at me and kind of said, that's great. Manifesting is amazing, but booking is out of your control. And that hurt a little. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't an easy pill to swallow, because as much as we want to act and book the job because that's what we want to do, that's out of our control. To an extent, you still have to be training, you still have to have a great portfolio, you have to be networking, doing all these things on the side, like those are in your control. But when it comes to actually booking a part, who knows what the writers are gonna write? Who knows what roles are gonna be available? Who knows if the season is gonna be canceled? The point is, a lot of it is out of our control, and it's important to just enjoy the journey of what it's like to audition. What I've done that's really helped me is learn to let go of said roles. So when I receive the email, the audition in my inbox, I look at the role, I look at the project, I do the work, I get excited. This character is mine for the audition. I get to show the casting director my artistry and my performance, how I envision this character. I film it, I submit it, and then I let it go. Or I try to, because otherwise I'd be torturing myself endlessly about when do they shoot, when will I know? My agent will call me if I get it. My agent actually talks about this all the time, about auditioning for the same casting directors. That means that you are creating fans, that you are booking the room. It's only a matter of time until the right character comes on your lap and you get to be chosen to tell the specific story. Also, regarding rejection, I had this other instructor recently tell us this mindset. If you and another person are the same type, so you audition for the same things, and the other person books the role that you were going for, then your instinct should be to A, celebrate them because you're a good person and we love to celebrate other people's wins, and B, say, okay, awesome, like, congrats, go kill it on set, and if another project needs me around that time, then I will be available, and you won't. So that means that I have a better chance to book the next one. Next on the list of things to talk about is going to be the ups and downs in the acting industry. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about when I entered the industry about 3 years ago and literally got hit left and right by these things that are so out of my control, such as COVID, such as the strike. It's actually insane to be trying to enter this industry industry in a time where so many things are happening on a grand scale. Feel free to educate yourself on the internet. There's so many things out there about what is happening in the industry right now. I've heard many actor friends book a lot in a year and then book nothing for 2 to 3 years after that. Therefore, there are droughts. And so you have to expect the fact that sometimes you'll be booking a lot and you'll be thriving. You feel there's momentum. People talk about momentum a lot in this career. This roller coaster happens to everyone, and my biggest tip would be to have a stable life throughout this journey. And I'm talking socially, spiritually, mentally, economically. It is and can be very hard to find a stable life in an industry where they expect you to drop everything as soon as you book something. You just got to find a system, a lifestyle that works for you in order to combat those ups and downs. I kind of question myself, what makes me happy? I have been working on my fitness, so that means going to the gym and investing in myself. I've been reading books. I've actually been reading a book about the soul, which has been super interesting because it's very spiritual in nature and it kind of makes me question my whole life, which is fun. The point is, take care of yourself. I feel like I sound like Sue in The Substance. Take care of yourself. I've heard that I look like her before, which is funny. I'd love to meet Margaret Qualley one day. Anyway, the next thing we're going to talk about is self-doubt, which is so important. Like a lot of humans experience doubt, and the imposter syndrome can be present in so many industries. It's not just an acting thing. The thing I will say about acting, though, is that it is an art. A lot of it is subjective. This is a business of opinions. It's not like you're doing anything right or wrong. Everybody's journey is different. It's very hard to have a grasp on that because you cannot control everything. Having imposter syndrome is very much present in my life, and it's also present for big actors as well. If you look at actors on actors, you know, the conversations on YouTube, a lot of them talk about not feeling adequate enough to be on those sets and to tell those stories. One of the things that I do to help my imposter syndrome is to continuously be training. That really helps me kind of fight the little demon inside my head that says you aren't enough, because I am putting in the work. And when you look at a week in my life, I do really pursue the craft seriously. This isn't just a hobby for me, this is my career, so I know I'm putting in the hours, and that really helps me kind of logically think about it in that way. I also love going to class because it helps me collaborate with other artists about the scene or the work that we're doing. It's really crucial because when you're on set, you're going to be collaborating with the director and the other actors, and being in your own bubble about your acting can be a disservice to the story, because at the end of the day, a movie is made by so many people. Same with TV shows. There's so many people involved in the art of storytelling, so I think that it's important to always continuously be like bouncing off ideas, trying new things with other creatives. It just makes your work better, and in terms of imposter syndrome, you feel less alone and more flexible because you're able to stretch the muscle with other people and work together. I am also working on this, but I do my best to give myself grace when I look back at my auditions. Trust me when I say this, I really don't like watching my work, basically. I've heard a lot of actors say this, which is interesting to me because this industry, a lot of it is based on looks and judgment, and when you're trying to objectively look at your work, the human work that you provide about the characters' feelings and emotions and what they're going through, you don't want to be looking at all the little intricacies that bother you as yourself. One of the biggest things that I've learned acting, especially watching my tapes back, is the fact that perfection does not exist. We are in charge of finding the human moments, and those usually happen when you're not predicting every second of the story. There is no such thing as good or bad acting. We should be striving for truth. That blew my mind when I learned that, because as a perfectionist, I really wanted to be so perfect and didn't leave any room for anything real and human to happen in between the moments. I feel like I'm ready to play a lot more today. That's what's so exciting about acting. It's not as predictable as people think it is. So yeah, strive for truthfulness and not perfection. Mind blown, I know. So, in conclusion, you should be a human first and then an actor, meaning that you should really know how to have a stable, balanced life and be happy without the acting. Otherwise, you will be running yourself into the ground, not enjoying life, possibly being unhappy in the process. I've made the mistake several times to prioritize my career over my happiness, and I'm still learning. I just think it's important to have these conversations. Living life is one of the best things you can do to be a good actor. That is not said enough. The actor mentality that is portrayed in the media is usually the starving artist that thinks about that day and night and does nothing else. No, you should be living your life. Go get yourself some hobbies, go travel, go get a boyfriend, girlfriend, basically whatever makes you happy. And at the same time, you will be a better actor because of it. It's ultimately always about balance. You must respect the balance, as they say in The Substance. I just love this movie. The Substance was so good, you guys. The director is also French, so I'm hoping to one day be able to work with her. I'm French too. I can't wait to save my life. Anyway, that is all that I have for you today. I would have wanted someone to tell me about these things earlier in my career, so just keep working at it and the universe will reward you. Bye! Bisous!